Hey, it's Jody Taylor of SnackySays.com. Welcome back to my podcast. Today, I wanted to kind of just chat because I've had things on my mind. I've been trying to think of a way to do tips or life lessons. I hate the word hack, so I'm not going to do life hacks. Boo. But none of the things that I was thinking of are really related. So I just thought we would just get into it. So this is in order of importance. Just things that have been on my mind and some life observations that might help you in some way. That's my hope. Or at the very least, they are things to consider that you might want to use in your life, or maybe they'll resonate with you. So, number one, always pack more underwear than you think you need. Trust me on this. Whether you're traveling, you're taking a day trip. As a matter of fact, I would change that to walk with your underwear, walk with extra underwear. Keep it in your car or in your bag, because you just never know. You never know when you're going to get stuck someplace. You might get caught in a thunderstorm, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of self-explanatory. You're welcome. The next thing is, sometimes being right is far worse than being wrong. And I've had this experience a few times in my life, and it's always memorable and also painful. So, for example, if you've said to someone, don't rock back on that chair, because if you keep rocking back on that chair, leaning back, you are going to fall. And you say it over and over again, and they don't listen, and then they fall. Do you feel good? No, it's a bad feeling to be right, because you don't want someone that you love or even marginally like to be hurt, right? So it's sometimes not a good feeling to be right. Obviously, if you pick the winning lotto numbers, it's great to be right. But what's the word I want to use? It's difficult. It's painful sometimes to be right about something or someone. It's tough. So I don't have a tip there or any advice. But it does kind of lead into the next thing. Be careful with your words. And again, I have learned this the hard way. We have to be, we don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Again, these are things to consider, but words are extremely powerful. When we say things, it's basically I would liken it to casting a spell, right? When you say something, you're putting it out there in the universe. And especially if you're saying it over and over again, you are bound to talk your way into it coming true. I'll never get that job. I'll never live in that city. If you keep saying it, then you're kind of reinforcing it, even subconsciously or unconsciously, with your behavior. And that goes for others too. If you can remember a time someone said something to you that they may not even recall, but it still sticks with you to this day, whether it was 10 years ago or, yesterday or a few years ago, got to be careful with your words, because something that we can say casually to someone can have an impact on them, especially if they're young, or if they're impressionable, or if they really love us and admire and respect us, and they kind of cling to our words, right? So even though this might be hard to gauge, be aware that you may have more influence over the folks around you than you know. And I would also extend that to body language and facial expressions. I have realized that when I really love something, like food, I make this face it looks like I don't love it, but I don't even know why I do it. And so imagine if I saw someone I really loved and I was like, damn, I love this person, but my face didn't look like that. People pick up on that. So, we are casting these spells with our body language and our facial expressions and our words. There's a lot of language besides the written word. There's verbal, there's emotional, there's our body language. So just something to be aware of. So those are my life observations. So to recap, always pack more underwear than you think you need. Especially, not especially, but it's happened that I've been traveling and luggage lost, but I had 20 pairs of underwear in my carry-on that I had with me, so I was golden. Like, that's the hardest thing to replace. Yes, you can always buy underwear anywhere. In the middle of the night, probably not. But let's say the sun rises and you go out in your new city that you're traveling in. Yeah, you can get new underwear, but you still got to wash it first, right? So always pack more underwear. Next, there are things worse than being wrong, and sometimes that's being right. It doesn't actually feel good sometimes to be right. And I kind of gave vague examples for a reason. I am just sharing life observations, and I don't want to be crying, sharing my real life examples or spiral because I'm like, damn, that time I was right. That really sucked. So I'm not going to share specific examples, but you've probably already thought of some in your own life when you were right about something, or like your mom. Like my mom is always right. Like your mom said something, and sure enough, it came true, which leads us to our last one. Be careful with your words. Be careful with your words because you're basically casting a spell. Be careful what you say, and then whether it's to yourself or others, and then how many times you say it, because it really is like casting a spell. So if you say to yourself in reverse, like to end on a more positive note, was this not positive? If I say, like, I am going to finish that 5K, I'm going to finish that 5K, I can do this, I'm strong, I'm going to finish that 5K, that's very powerful, right? That's a great thing to have on repeat, or fill in the blank. Like, every day I'm going to drink 2 glasses of water when I wake up. I can do this. I can do this. I'm hydrated. I'm hydrated. These are kind of maybe not the best examples. I feel like I don't give good examples when I'm trying to make a point, and then I end up saying like, that's not the best example, but fill in the blank. So that's your recap, and those are my life observations. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. All right, it is workout time. Today is stretch day, which between me and you, I haven't been keeping up with at all. So it just seems so boring. But it is necessary. So here we go. Today's stretch day. We're going to be stretching. We're going to be foam rolling. I hope wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this, I hope that you are well fed and that you had an amazing day. I recently started listening to this song by Mary J. Blige called Amazing with DJ Khaled, and that word is always ringing in my head. Love the song. Anyway, let's end. Take care. Thank you for listening. If you have any thoughts on these observations or your own life observations, you can always email me at Jody at snackysays.com, JODDIE at snackysays.com. Thank you for listening. Take care.